He carefully scraped off the date on the check and changed the numbers to today. Then he soaked a pile of model airplanes in a bathtub, and once they softened, he used tweezers to remove the airline logos, stuck them onto the forged check, and confidently took it to the bank to cash it. With just a few sweet words and a handsome face, he earned his very first fortune. But from that moment on, everything spun out of control. In just a few short years, he swindled $4 million from banks using this method. Later, he would be called the most legendary con man in American history. Forging checks was only his most common trick. He posed as a pilot, flying free across 26 countries. At one point, he even pretended to be the head of a medical department, in charge of 6 interns and 20 nurses. Despite being squeamish at the sight of blood, he still fooled everyone. Another time, he posed as an FBI agent and completely outsmarted the federal agents chasing him. In fact, his talent for deception had already surfaced much earlier. On his very first day at a new school, when Frank walked into the classroom, his classmates mocked him for dressing like a teacher. Thinking quickly, he turned around, wrote his name on the blackboard, and pretended to be a substitute teacher. The students were stunned by his presence, and Frank even dragged the class bully to the podium, forcing him to read aloud from the French textbook. Then the real substitute teacher walked in, but Frank remained calm, managing to fool even her. And so, Frank ended up teaching French for an entire week and even held a parent-teacher conference. His mother was speechless, but his father laughed together with him, because his son's talent for trickery was something he had inherited directly. Not long after, his father's company was caught for tax evasion. Even after selling the limousine, the family had to move from a mansion into an apartment. Yet the financial hole still couldn't be filled. In an attempt to revive the company, his father decided to take Frank to the bank for a loan. Before that, they went to a clothing store because a proper suit was needed. But the shopkeeper refused, claiming, "We don't rent clothes." So his father used his best trick. He pulled out a necklace, paired it with a few clever words, and got exactly what he wanted.